While you were driving here today, I'm going to think that you were probably thinking about other weddings. Maybe you were thinking about your own. I know every time I drive to a wedding, it always comes to my mind. So you're thinking about other weddings, and you're thinking about, oh, I might get to see so-and-so and this one or that one, because weddings is one of the two ways that brings many generations in a family together. And while you're thinking of other generations, perhaps thoughts come to mind of people who are not with us anymore. And it's along that Danielle and Arron wanted to take just a moment to recognize and remember Aaron's father, Jim Muir. Think his smile, his laugh, his presence. Whenever I first sit down with my couples and we get to know each other a little bit and make sure it's all a good fit and that, I always ask them, how'd you meet? And I'm telling you, this year I'll hit 200 weddings, and I've got so many great stories. Some people tell me that they knew each other when they were kids. Had them as young as 6 years old. They knew each other since they were 6. People tell me that they met each other at work, which is pretty high up there. But I'm going to tell you too, and now listen, I'm not endorsing anything, I'm only telling you what is told to me. That last year, 40% of my weddings, and I do about 60 a year, they met online. So Facebook is right up there, eharmony.com, Christian Mingle, and I would be remiss if I didn't mention, because I had 2 of them last year, where farmersonly.com. Be grateful this is not how these two met, because you'd be sitting on bales of hay. But it's just the way it happens. So, but we got a couple minutes yet before they eat, don't we? I want to tell you about a couple. I did talk to a couple that I found them very interesting. She had gotten invited to go out with her friends, and he had gotten invited to go out with his friends to an adult establishment that sold ice cold beverages. And they meet and they get to talking, and they kind of hit it off. And as the night grows long, and the way they told me was that they had a few ice cold beverages. And when it was time to go home, one of the responsible friends said, "I'll drive." And so as they were dropping her off first, her last words as she got out of the car were, "I'm feeling so good, I probably won't even remember you tomorrow." Now, Cupid doesn't mind that kind of stuff. Okay, I've heard all kinds of stories, but that line is going to stay with me for quite a while. So as luck would have it, being the fun partying type of friends that they had, next week they meet up again. And this time they're talking, and it's going well. And when they part company, they each knew that this was something special. And when he's in the car on the way home, he says, "Oh, I got to get a hold of her." Oh, I think Homer Simpson would have said, "Don't." I forgot to get her phone number. And she's telling me, I really wanted him to call me. And then it dawned on me, the fool forgot to get my phone number. But as I said, people meet on Facebook all the time. Well, this couple, they hit a couple of those. And he looks her up on Facebook. because it is the digital age. And Cupid is working with him. And he finds her. He finds a picture. You know he's got the right Danielle. And sure enough, he gets hold of her. Well, the long story short is 6.5 years later, which isn't short at all. 6.5 years later, yeah. Yes, here we all are. Aren't you glad you made it? Well, as my couples tell me their stories, I try to find out a little bit more. And honestly, the way that the stories tend to go and the conversations go, it can be summarized as they meet and they talk. They find their commonality. Maybe it's philosophy, maybe it's religion, maybe it's their choice in adult beverages. College hockey, yes, there's a lot of things in common that draw people together. So they figure out that this is a little bit more than just a little friendship. You know it's something special when it's someone, I know you've experienced this, it dawns on you that it's the first person you think of in the morning and the last person you think of at night. It dawns on you that this is the person that if you've had a fantastic day, this is the person you have to let them know. And if you had a lousy day, awful, simply awful day, this is the person that you have to let know. Why? Because they give you that emotional support. It's somebody that you can be yourself with. It's the person that you can joke around. You can be a little goofy sometimes. Things happen. You can have arguments. You're allowed to have arguments. But nobody walks away from the relationship. And why? Because of respect. Support, respect. That's not enough, is it? At some point in time, real love. Now, and I'm not just talking the walk down the beach and fall in love type of love. I'm talking about the type of love where you know that there's something different about it. And I'm quite sure that there'll be enough of you in your own mind agree with me that when you have this type of love, at some point in time, you had to say out loud, I love her. I love him. Maybe you probably were alone, but maybe you were in the car, maybe you were in front of the mirror. Maybe you were just laying in bed with your hands behind your head thinking of her, thinking of him. But you said it out loud. Why? Because you had to hear it. You had to bring in one more sense. When you have a love that bonds two hearts together, when this is added to the relationship, you know it's something different. The Bible kind of goes along the lines of, it's a love that is patient, it's kind, it's a love that doesn't gloat over the other person's faults. It's a love that doesn't keep score. That is the love that has bonded the hearts of Danielle and Arron together. That was the progression. Because of the love they have, it goes out to others. Ladies, you were all invited. Gentlemen, you were all invited. Why? Because of how they both feel about all of you. All of you have been invited because of the way these two feel about you. But from where I'm standing, and I got a pretty good spot, the best part is you're all here. And why? Because of the love that you have for Danielle and Arron. And that is what makes this event so special to them, your being here. The reason all of us are here is because of the love that has bonded your hearts together. From the moment that the big question was answered with yes, you've actually been really making commitments and plans. All those conversations that were held driving somewhere or while you sat across from each other for a meal, maybe long walks. All those conversations that began with, after we get married, and continued on with, I will, and you will, and we will. And all those late night talks that included someday and somehow and maybe. And all those promises that were made while you held hands. Danielle, Arron, that has actually been the process of getting married. Arron, these are the hands that will work alongside yours as together you build your future. These are the hands that will passionately love you and cherish you through the years, and with the slightest touch will comfort you like no other. Danielle, these are the hands of your best friend, and they're strong and they're full of love for you, kiddo. And to both of you, I'm telling you that the hands that you're holding right now, these are the hands that are going to give you the strength when you need it the most. These are the hands that even when aged, will still be reaching for yours, still giving you that same unspoken tenderness with just a touch. The vows that you're about to make is a way of saying to one another, you know, all those things that we talked about and hoped for and dreamt of and all those things that we promised each other, well, I meant every word of it. Look at each other and remember this moment in time. Look at your guests. They're all smiling for you. Yeah. This moment, I hope, will be with you forever. Shortly, I'm going to say a few words that will take you across the threshold of life, and things will never be quite the same between you. Because before, you've been friend, a companion, lover, dancing partner, maybe even teacher, because you've learned a lot from one another. But after today, Danielle, you'll be able to look at Arron and say, there's my husband. And Arron, you'll be able to look at Danielle and say, there's my beautiful wife, and not a man among us would ever argue that with you. So Arron, will you laugh with Danielle and cry with her through the best and the worst, through the difficult and the easy, whatever may come? Will you always be there for her?
I will.
And Arron, do you promise to be Danielle's partner in life and one true love? Do you promise to cherish and to respect her? Do you promise your love to her and to her only and her always? Do you promise to support and to honor Danielle? And as you've given her your hands to hold, do you give her your life to keep? And finally, Arron, do you take Danielle to be your wife?
I do.
Danielle, will you laugh with Arron and cry with him through the best and the worst, through the difficult and the easy, whatever may come? Will you always be there for him?
I will.
And Danielle, do you promise to be Arron's partner in life and one true love? Do you promise to cherish and to respect him? Do you promise your love to him and him only and always? And do you promise to support and to honor Arron? And as you've given him your hands to hold, do you give him your life to keep? And finally, Danielle, do you take Arron to be your husband?
I do.
May we have the rings, Ryan. Very good. Just hold them up just a little bit there. The circle is the symbol of the sun and the earth and the universe which we all share. Circles have no beginning and no end. So in the long and sacred tradition of marriage, the ring has come to symbolize eternal love. They've been given by lovers to each other as a token of love as well, and really it's a tangible sign of the promises given and kept through all the days of your lives together. Rings are actually worn on the left hand, third finger, and that goes back to the ancients because they believed that there was a vein that went from that finger to the heart. Therefore, it connected the spiritual with the body. As these rings encircle your fingers, may constant love encircle your hearts. All right, Aaron.
Yep.
You're going to take her left hand, and as you slide the ring on her finger, you're going to look her right in the eyes, and you're going to say the following words. I, Aaron.
I, Aaron.
Take you, Danielle.
Take you, Danielle.
To be my lawfully wedded wife.
To be my lawfully wedded wife.
To have and to hold.
To have and to hold.
From this day forward.
From this day forward.
For better or for worse.
For better or for worse.
For richer or for poor.
For richer or for poor.
In sickness and in health.
Sickness and in health.
To be devoted to you.
To be devoted to you.
And to you only.
And to you only.
With this ring, Danielle.
With this ring, Danielle.
I thee wed.
I thee wed.
Forever and always.
Forever and always.
Good. All right, Danielle, take Aaron's left hand, and as you slide the ring on his finger, that one, yes.
It's reversed.
Slide the ring on his finger and look him in the eyes and repeat after me. I, Danielle.
I, Danielle.
Take you, Aaron.
Take you, Aaron.
To be my lawfully wedded husband.
To be my lawfully wedded husband.
To have and to hold.
To have and to hold.
From this day forward.
From this day forward.
For better or for worse.
For better or for worse.
For richer or for poor.
For richer or poorer.
In sickness and in health.
In sickness and in health.
To be devoted to you.
To be devoted to you.
And to you only.
And to you only.
With this ring, Aaron.
With this ring, Aaron.
I thee wed.
I thee wed.
Always and forever.
Always and forever.
All right. Face your guests and hold hands. Aaron and Danielle, as we reflect upon the commitment that you have each made to each other, let us remember that you have promised to give the best of yourselves and ask no more than the other can give. You promised each other respect. You promised each other to support one another. And therefore, may you minimize each other's weaknesses and be swift to praise and magnify each other's strengths. You promised fidelity to one another. May you take the time to tend the flames. For if you do, may you always have the glow of the warmth and love that you share today. You promised a lifelong commitment to one another. Therefore, when you reach the winter of your lives together, may you still be reaching for your spouse, still giving them the same unspoken tenderness with just a touch. All right, everybody. Danielle, Aaron, because you have proclaimed your love and respect, your fidelity, your support, and to honor one another, authority is given to me by the state of Ohio that I can now pronounce you husband and wife. Aaron, you may kiss your bride. Ladies and gentlemen, it is indeed a really pleasure to introduce to you our very newlywed couple, Mr. and Mrs. Arron Europe.
So I just wanted to get up here tonight and just say a little something. Danielle's a really close friend of mine, and I, of course, is one of her biggest nights, so I had to just, send out my love to her. It's been an honor to be able to stand up next to her and Aaron on the biggest day of their lives. So I met Danielle almost 9 years ago. It's a long time. We actually worked at Kohl's together, and actually this friendship, I don't know if you knew this or not, almost didn't happen. So I was a little intimidated by her. She has a strong, vibrant personality. She just tells it how it is, like brutally honest, and then she has this resting bee face, okay? If you don't know what the B stands for, look it up, okay? We got kids in here. But over time, I realized she's not mean, it's just her face. And I really it's just her face. It's beautiful. But over time, I realized she's actually like one of the biggest softies ever. So I learned about Aaron about after their first date. They went to B-Dubs, and they really hit it off. And so much so where I'm going to embarrass her a little bit here. They started dating, and soon into the relationship, she's like, Brittany, he's the one. I'm like, okay, it was 2 weeks, 2 weeks. I'm like, okay. I'm like, that's good. You know right away. That's amazing. And she's like, so I told him he had a year to propose. And if it didn't happen, then, this just might not work out. And I'm like, oh, okay. So I'm like, all right, let's get to planning, because this is crazy. Like, I told my boyfriend the same thing. So this is when we became best friends, right? Crazies together. So a year came and went, no ring. And I'm like, oh no, what's gonna happen, right? No, so they pursued on, and they just loved one another and got through that, and we continued to plan weddings year after year, and in our heads we're like, oh, he's gonna propose now, and it just, it didn't happen, and it's like, it's okay, we still love Aaron, I'm still rooting for him here. So almost 7 years later, we got the ring, a house, a dog, and here we are. We're here. 2 dogs, Hawk and Timmy, they're babies, they're fur babies. So I just thank you for letting me be part of your day. Thank you for being such an amazing friend. And I can't wait to see where your life takes you. You're going to live your best life, guys. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Aaron's sister. When I was growing up, I was very adamant about not wanting a sister because she might steal my spotlight. I'm not ashamed to tell you that. Although that's my little one stealing the spotlight right now. So my brother was always kind of weird about introducing me to girls, right? Because I'm kind of that B word that Brittany mentioned. And I also have a strong personality, and I'll share my opinion with you. And if I don't like you, you're going to be the first person to know that I don't like you. So my brother was nervous, and I found this out later from Danielle, that he was nervous for me to meet Danielle because, God forbid, what if I didn't like her? Because that's a deal breaker, right? You're not coming into the family if Holly doesn't like you. So I met her. She was funny. We drank the first time we were together, which, eases everybody's mind. And then she just kept coming around and coming around. And so fast forward, I knew that she was going to be getting proposed to. She didn't, We were glad Zoe didn't spill the beans. Thank God she said yes. And now here we are, and she asked me to be her maid of honor, which is like a really big honor because I'm also the sister-in-law, but the maid of honor. So that means we really are cool, right? So I don't know. Here we are. We're going to have fun. We're going to party. And it's I kind of got to choose my own sister. So most of you don't get to do that. So congratulations. I love both of you. Zoe, congratulations to you as well. I hope everybody has a good night. That's it. That's all I got. Thank you.
So, everyone, I'm Ryan. I'm Aaron's best friend. Wanted to start off by thanking Aaron and Danielle for asking me to be a part of that big day. It really means a lot to me. Also, wanted to thank my fellow wedding party members for all of your work on making today special. You all look amazing and making today unforgettable. Aaron and I have been friends for more than 25 years. We've had a lot of good times together. We've seen the good, the bad, the ugly, and we've lived to tell the story. I have one I wanted to share with everybody. One Friday I was over at Aaron's house many years ago, and we were on a Friday night playing Bill Walsh football, 1996 on Sega. Aaron, obviously, was Nebraska. I was Michigan. And we were both a little competitive, but my mouth is a little bit louder than his. So after a few warnings to stop cursing from Jim and Sue, Sue made her way in Aaron's room with the famous Orange Dial soap. I want to point out, Orange Dial is my least favorite out of all the soaps that you can get in your mouth. This one story alone tells what kind of person Aaron is. Kind, loyal, and an overall good man. It makes me so happy that he's found someone that appreciates the man he is. Danielle, you're marrying the best friend. You bring out the best of him, and you know he truly cares about you. Aaron and Danielle, I'm so happy and excited for both of you. And know that you guys are going to be a great team, a lot better than last year's Bears team. I wish you guys nothing but the best and many great years to come, and I want to say congratulations. Everybody raise your glass and toast the mirrors.
Crash down to the real world now. I told you, you have my heart. We run to where we belong. I told you, you are the one. You're my satellite, won't you take me higher than the sun? We can go all night till we find our light and show everyone nobody does it like us. When you're feeling down, I know I won't